Hello everyone, welcome to Just Live Tarot, where we take our power in our lives back into our own hands as best as we are capable. Today's collective reading is for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Cross watchers are welcome. Cancer, please bear in mind that this is not a personalized reading, so please take what fits, flip energies when necessary, and if it don't apply, let it fly. Do not try to force a story that is not yours into your narrative because it's coming up in today's reading for someone else in the collective. With that said, Cancers, I do hope that this video finds you all well. I myself am a Cancerian, and I know that I have personally been feeling so very exhausted. Like, it doesn't matter how much sleep I get, I still feel tired. So I hope that that is strictly a me thing and not hitting the rest of you as well. If so, I do pray that you improve in your health and in your sleep. Today's messages are going to be focused on romance. I do hope that you find some positivity in this message for you, whether you are single or not, or somewhere in between. Father God, I ask that you help me to deliver these messages with the clarity that is necessary for our collective as best as I am able. Please grant me the wisdom and the clarity to understand and articulate what comes to me. Thank you. Cancer, we're going to start with Cancer singles. Ooh, there we go. 10 of Cups. Very nice. Always love to see it. What do my Cancer singles need to know regarding romance? Matters of the heart. Temperance. Ooh. Ace of Swords. Six of Cups. Eight of Wands. Two of Wands. And our baseline energy at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. We'll leave that here for now. Cancers, we're going to have to talk about something that you're not going to want to hear. Some of you may want to hear it. I feel like I'm dealing with a split between two groups of single Cancers right now. So, right out the gate, we have the Ten of Cups. So some of you are very happy with being single. And for those of you who fit that story, great. Happy for you. If you like it, I love it. Some of you, however, are talking to someone whom you are finding yourself in your own heart space with, thinking about a future where this person could be your happily ever after in the way that you envision this future. Now, for those Cancers who that applies to, what I want to point out is if this is a future that you want with this person, to remember to be in the present moment, not in the future. Because reality does not exist within our specific heart spaces. That doesn't mean that we can't create that reality with our person. But to do so requires a lot of maintenance. It requires a lot of, I'm hearing it's a process. I'm being asked to move forward from the Ten of Cups. There's a there's a specific story that's sticking out to me right now, Cancer. So there's a group of Cancerians who, at some point in time, has found themselves in separation or separating from a particular person with whom they had romantic feelings for at some point in time or another. Now, what I want my Cancer collectives to do is listen very carefully to your intuition and to balance your emotions with your logic and reasoning, because what we don't want to do is find ourselves making decisions that we think are the right decisions but for the wrong reasons. So the story that I'm getting here is of a connection that separated, but the separation was a painful separation. So this could have been a breakup. This could have been a when you put the relationship on pause for an undetermined time frame, and then time passes between the two of you, and it's like, well, I guess I'm single. Those two group of Cancerians are fitting this narrative. So the first thing that comes to mind here is our baseline energy of the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups in our baseline energy, Cancers, I'm sorry, I'm picking up on you and your person, and some of you might feel like this is very specific. The sense that I'm getting is that you have a person who has either recently come back to offer you an apology of some form, or this person is going to apologize to you to some form. Now, not all of you are going to resonate with this, but I feel like I'm speaking to a Cancer collective who is a part of the LGBT community in some way, shape, or form, who might have been dealing with someone who was not out, so to speak. Someone who might be like in the closet about it, or kind of figuring themselves out and required a level of discretion, but might have been in denial within themselves in the moment, which might have played a role in the separation. I feel like this person is trying to come back into the picture. We also have the Six of Cups, which I know a lot of you don't want to hear about, but this is usually my card that comes up when we're talking about people of the past or childhood memories. This could either be, for those of you who are not in the LGBT community, this is a person with whom you've had longevity with, or with whom played some kind of significant role when you were younger, coming back in. For those of you who are part of the LGBT community, this is a person of the past who is trying to reconcile with you, with the Page of Cups. The theme of this person's energy is trying to reconcile with you and to come back together with you. Now, We have here the Temperance card, and with the Temperance card, we're dealing with the concepts of patience. We're dealing with a card of healing, but we're also dealing with a sense of familiarity. So, this is someone with whom you've shared your deepest emotions and concerns and stories with, and vice versa. This was not an easy connection to separate from. Now, there is a sense of divine timing involved here, and this doesn't necessarily mean that you are meant to be with this person. This is meant to, you are meant to have some form of reconnection with this person, whether mentally in your own headspace, emotionally in your own heart space, or physically, whether you actually re-establish communication or not with this person. It was meant to happen. For some of you, it's because you are meant to reconnect with this person and see where things go. For some of you, it is because the divine is testing you, because you are so nearly at your goal for what it is that you had been hoping to accomplish or wanting to have when it comes to your interpersonal relationships. And so Spirit is like, are you sure? Let's see if you've learned your lesson and how much you've healed. And this chance encounter, or this stirring up of old memories, is going to test you and see how you respond. Not how you react, but how you respond. And that will gauge where things go with you. Now, we have the Ace of Swords in between the Six of Cups and the Temperance. So when we're looking at the Ace of Swords, we're looking at truth. We're looking at breakthroughs, and we're looking at success. Now, swords are a card of intellect and mental energies as well. This is a card of victory. So this may be a matter of you displaying that you have learned your lessons, displaying that you have taken the time to heal. I'm hearing mental trauma. You've had to take some time to heal from whatever had transpired during that connection before it had separated, in addition to the whole process of the separation and the way it went down. You've taken the time to heal from it, and you're in a better place now, and you've made breakthroughs within yourself. And you may end up displaying this when this person comes back around. Now, when this person comes back around, their intentions is to move forward with you, right? They want you back in their lives in some capacity, and I feel like the capacity is of a romantic nature. And it looks as if they are in contemplation on how to go about doing that, how to go about getting you back. This person's in their head planning because they know, with time that has passed, they know why the separation happened, and whether or not they choose to articulate it to you, they are self-aware of it. It gives me the feeling that I just get this feeling of, I know I fucked up to some capacity and I want to apologize and see if you'll allow me to prove to you that we can make something work. I'd like to have you back in my life type of energy. That's what I'm getting off of this. How in the world am I going to pull this off? That's that kind of energy that I'm getting from Two of Wands. Now, Cancer. Just because something is divine timing doesn't necessarily mean it's what's meant for you, but it can mean that it's a test before you receive what is meant for you. You ultimately need to decide that for yourself, right? Spirit co-creates with you based on what they hear that we want and what it is that we are meant to have. If you are not ready for the relationship that you've been wanting, then this can be the prime time for that to show itself so that you can address that, whether within yourself or with other people. Some of you Cancerians have separated from this person because you both encountered each other at the wrong time. By that I mean, you both have encountered each other when you each were at a low point in your lives. And because you've seen each other at each other's worsts, you both had to find ways to self-improve and shadow work separately, independently, so that when you do come back into contact with each other, you can see each other at your respective, I'm not going to say bests, but in a more accurate light of and representation of yourselves, respectively. And if that is what is happening, then by all means, do as you will. Just take the time. Again, we had Temperance, and Temperance is a card of patience. Take the time to vet this person out and make sure that this is a person who's worth your time, energy, investment, heart space, etc., etc., etc. I do feel like it could be an overall positive situation with the sun rising in the background of Temperance. This doesn't necessarily mean that you are meant to be with this person, Cancer. I feel like I'm speaking to a group of Cancers who are going to watch this video, and instead of listening to what is being said with their mind and their ears, they're listening with their heart and their heart only. And that makes me very nervous for those Cancers who are doing that. So if that is you, please rewind this video and start over again and really pay attention, because I feel like there's going to be very small little things that come up that might resonate for you in bits and pieces. If you listen very carefully, it's like right under your nose in plain sight. Those are my messages for the single Cancers. What about those who are not single? Cancerians, I set up this display in this way so that you guys can see me shuffle live. I rearranged my setup. I do apologize. The last video I did for you guys, I posted it as a live instead of as a video, and they were involving finances. If that's something that you want to look at, by all means, click on my name to pull up the channel itself and select lives, and you'll see the video that I posted regarding your finances. It was labeled for September, but since we're still at the beginning of October, I feel like some of it may still carry over. I will be posting more videos on that. My Cancer collectives whom are not single, thank you, Spirit. King of Wands. So, I feel the need to talk about something that came to mind. Give me a second to finish shuffling. Okay. So, my Cancers who are not single, I pulled up my King of Wands. Now, I want you to look at my King of Wands card. You'll notice that I have damage on my card here. The story of my King of Wands card and this deck is that I was in the process of moving one day, and some way, somehow, a glass of water spilled on my deck, and my entire deck had water damage on it. And I did everything I could to salvage the deck because it was the very first deck I ever had. God knows how many years ago. It's been a very long time. I didn't have the heart to throw it out. I've had too much sentimental value on this deck. If you see, look at the side of this deck, right? This is my Mystical Manga deck, right? It looks brand new. It still has the brand new card smell, and I've had this deck for a while as well. Nowhere near as long as my Rider-Waite deck. If you look at my Rider-Waite deck, you can see how worn it is. Right? This deck has traveled the country with me, and it's been used in readings for a lot of people, personal readings, collective readings, you name it. So, despite the damage that was done, I sought to repair it so that I can keep using it rather than discard it. And here I am today, still using it. Now we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is our entrepreneur card. It's a card that likes to look at things with the mindset of, I see potential in this. Is this worth my time, my energy, my investment? And if so, to what degree? And in what capacity? And if not, then I guess I won't pursue this any further. But for now, I'm looking and observing so that I can discern with greater clarity. Right? This king is sitting at attention. Right? He's kind of leaned in forward a little, paying attention to what it is he's looking out to. This is the card that fell out of the deck while shuffling, for those of you Cancerians who are not single. So if you've been going through some kind of situation with your person, you may find yourself wondering if it's salvageable or not. And baseline energy of Two of Swords, you may be unsure, right? You may be finding yourselves at a crossroads and not knowing what you should do. Now, I'm going to point out that in this card, the person is also sitting, and we have a lot of symbology here. We have a person who's sitting, right, because they're trying to stay calm in an otherwise, I'm looking at this as choppy waters, right? So it's not a comfortable situation. It's not as horrendous as it could be, but it's not comfortable. That said, you're not in the deep water, you're on dry land, and you're sitting trying to figure out what to do. The moon up in the sky, crescent moon, and the blindfold over your eyes is showing that you don't have a clear perspective on the matter, and you're trying not to give in to how the perspective you do have on the situation may be affecting you on an emotional level. You're trying to use logic and reason to balance yourself out, to get a better sense of things. I commend you on that, Cancer Collective, who is in this situation. Let's flip more cards to see what we need to know. We have Temperance again. No chance. You guys saw me shuffle. Huh. What are the chances of that? Now, Collective, you saw me shuffle live. This is why I do that live. We have almost the same exact cards as our Cancer singles, with one key difference. I kind of want to look back to remind myself what the last card was for my Cancer singles. Interesting. We have Temperance. We have Ace of Swords. We have Six of Cups. We have Eight of Wands. And then we have the Hermit. So like my Cancer singles, you two are in a similar situation where there may be quality time that has been invested in here. I'm hearing trust the process again. I'm hearing that again. My Cancer collectives may be wondering if this is something that they should take the time to try to heal from. And I feel like if you do, you'll be successful at it. It seems like your person does want things to be better between the two of you with the Six of Cups. You know, looking at the Six of Cups, something came to mind. You get this guy right here. Do you see this little soldier in the background on patrol? He stood out to me. Right? By no means is he the center point of this card, but that is what came to me. This guy. When I look at this, the sense that I got was, is it safe? Now I heard this as a, is it safe to love this person? I'm speaking to a group of Cancers who puts a lot of emphasis in security, the feeling of feeling safe and secure with their partners. And you're wondering if this is a person whom you can allow yourself to be vulnerable with to try to restore that sense of feeling, or if this is someone that you feel this sense of eggshells, like, is the coast clear? So I don't know if your person had did something sneaky when your back was turned behind your back, or if this is a person that makes you feel like you have to wait till the coast is clear to do certain things. Not that you yourself are being sneaky, but if that's the case, then take that accountability for yourself. I saw an image of a cellular phone in my mind. So this could be someone who makes you feel uneasy because, God forbid, you text someone or your phone goes off, they immediately come sentry mode. Who's that? Right? Like, who's this person who you're talking to? I want to know everything about them, name, number, and social security. That is an insecurity on your person's part if that's what you're dealing with, Cancer. And that might be this sense of like, is the coast clear? I can't even talk to anyone without my person's insecurities getting triggered, right? And it's not even a matter of you doing anything wrong. It's just that's how your person is because of things that happen that don't even concern you, things that predate you. That might be something that you're dealing with your person. That might be because of some form of strain in your relationship. However, this person does want to move forward with you. You seem to want to as well. This is a Cancerian who doesn't want to break up with their person. This is I'm speaking to a group of Cancerians who want to fix things if it's broken rather than throw it all away. So I might be dealing with old school thinking Cancerians, right? Um, I heard if you take care of something, it'll last. That's what I just heard. This might be the way in which you think. This is not an accusation to throw at you, Cancerian. I feel like this is the kind of person that you are. This is the way that you operate. If something is broken, you're going to try to repair it and fix it instead of just throw it away and salvage it. Much like myself with this deck. Now, Two of Swords came to mind because that was what we had in our baseline energy. Hermit is showing that you, Cancer, need to soul search within yourself and discern what it is that you are looking to, what it is that you're going to allow yourself to work with, what it is that you are going to be absolutely no nonsense about in your relationships. I heard disrespect. Um, One at a time, please. Cancer, you're being called to look within yourself, to remember who you are, what makes you you. Have you lost yourself for the sake of this relationship? If so, how do you plan on rectifying this? You can either leave the relationship, that's always an option, or, since you rather not, from what I'm seeing here, you have to reestablish where the boundaries are. At the end of the day, this is a person who fell for you because of who you are. So why would sacrificing yourself for the sake of the relationship make any sense whatsoever? It doesn't. Sometimes it's the very things that we love about a person most that drive us up a fucking wall. And that's the gospel truth right there. Now, I feel like you have to ask yourself the big questions. Why do you want to stay in this relationship, if you even do? And if you don't, why do you want to leave the relationship? And then, regardless of which of those two questions you have to ask yourself, proceed to ask yourself, are these things that that are set in stone, or are these things that can be worked on? Is this something that is salvageable? And if it is, do I want to invest in doing so or not? Just because you want to salvage something, Cancer, doesn't mean that you can salvage it, because it takes more than one person to have a romantic relationship. You can't be doing everything yourself. You are only responsible for your end of things, which is why the Hermit came up. And I feel like you are checking yourself first before you make any movements forward. This might be why the Two of Swords popped up in the baseline energy. On one hand, you have the Hermit card, so you're looking within yourself. And on the other hand, you have the King of Wands, because you're not only looking at you, you're looking at the other person as well. And I feel like you're analyzing. Now, I want you to be fair in your analyzations on your person and on yourself. Take accountability for that which is yours and nothing more. And once you have done so, decide how you wish to move forward with the things you've discovered. What do you need to work on regarding yourself, if anything at all? And what have you determined your person needs to work on? If it is something that's a matter of putting the cards on the table, no pun intended, with your person, communicating where your boundaries are, then I don't see a reason why that shouldn't happen. Especially when the both of you seem to really want this relationship to work, right? I feel like salvaging the relationship is very possible. I'm channeling. I feel like salvaging this relationship is very possible. Um, but just because it's possible doesn't mean that it's going to happen. You need to gauge that by I'm having a hard time speaking today. What is happening? Maybe you're at a loss for words, Cancer, and you don't know how to communicate or how to confront your partner with the things that are bothering you with the relationship, and it's like the words are getting in the way, which is fine. I find typing things up as if you're writing a letter to your partner, reading it to yourself, analyzing it so that you have your thoughts together helps. Do not send what you type. It is for your eyes only so that you can clear the muck of your emotions and your thoughts interweaving in a way that's not clear. Once you have streamlined your thoughts, your emotions, the reasons why, examples, etc., 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 I feel like I'm speaking to someone who has ADHD or whose partner has ADHD. Once you have done so, then by all means allow yourself to communicate. Now, this is also a group of Cancerians, ironically, who can speak their hearts because speaking your heart is the same as speaking your mind for you. That does not mean that that is the case for your partner. It is also not something that everyone can do fluidly like you can. So bear that in mind as well, Cancer. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that the entire world can do it too. You do have special redeeming qualities within yourself that is not among the list of things that are common, and you might surprise yourself. I feel like this is a group who needs to rekindle by remembering each other's priority order of spoken love languages. You have your love language, your person has theirs. You need to speak your person's love language so that they can feel the love and appreciation that you intend to display to them because they don't speak your love language as fluently as you do. And teach them to speak yours back. It will make you both much happier with each other. I hope that helps. I'm being asked to look at a third group of single Cancerians. This is a group of people who are looking at someone new. Whoops. My single Cancerians who are looking or speaking with someone new. What do we need to know about this? Ace of Cups, Three of Swords, Emperor, uh-oh. Ace of Wands. Oh, Ace of Swords. We got three aces here. And the Moon as our baseline. I think I need to talk about the Three of Swords in a way that most people don't typically look at the Three of Swords. So, Cancer, I feel like this new person who is in your life has this layer of mystery about them with the Moon card. They're, the two of you don't know each other as well as you each think you do. Um, there might be a little sense of fear and uncertainty because of that. Now, sometimes when we see a card come up in a spread, we immediately have a preconceived notion or bias to the card. So, a great example of this would be, say, the Tower card or the Death card. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, right? The Tower is often dreaded because it's usually dealing with something that's outside of our control. Whether it's because we took too long to make a decision, so life made the decision for us, and now because it's not within our control, it's uncomfortable, or because we might be scared of change. It varies per person, right? Everyone has their own thing about them. Three of Swords is another card that tends to have a seemingly negative outlook on it by most people. People usually look at the Three of Swords as the breakup card. I don't see the Three of Swords as the breakup card. Um, that would be a Two of Cups in reversed for me. Maybe a Ten of Swords. But there is a sense of heaviness on the heart when it comes to the Three of Swords. So, sometimes we're talking about heartbreak. Sometimes this is talking about, come here. Sometimes this is talking about the ability, because the Three of Swords is a swords card. Despite all the rain, water energy, despite the big heart, which is very Cups realm, right? Despite the clouds, which is also part water. It is a card of swords, and swords deal with communication. So with this stormy heart situation here, when I see the Three of Swords in this case for this spread, I'm looking at the need, or if it's not the need to do this, then it has recently happened between you or your person, where someone has communicated or needs to communicate a painful emotional experience, and do so in a way that is not emotionally compromised. What this looks like is like speaking objectively, I feel like this is a very new connection, right? It came up before I even flipped the cards, and the first card was Ace of Cups. Now we have three aces here, and aces are all about new energy, new everything, right? With this person, you might be dealing with an emperor, you might be dealing with a person who could be that emperor type for you. Now, I feel like you've done something with this person that you don't realize yet how special or important it is. I feel like you have made your emperor display emotions in a way that he doesn't normally. And he might have done so in a stoic manner. So if you and your new person have shared in stories where exes have hurt you respectively, so that you both have a better understanding of what to be sensitive about for each other and how to support each other, and ultimately how to make sure you don't hurt each other, that this is something that, like, you crossed a threshold. I'm not going to say you crossed a line. I'm not going to say you crossed a boundary, because that's a very different implication. You crossed a threshold with this person, and I feel like it happened fast. Where this person has decided that they trust you to a certain degree by sharing a heartbreak with you, and you them. What I want you to be careful with, Cancer, is that you are not falling in love with this emperor because, as a typical Cancerian, you saw someone pour their heart out or put their heart on their sleeves, and here you are trying to console them, heal them, fix them. How do I put this? It's like the mom, right? You can't help it when you see your baby get hurt. You want to come and tend to the boo-boo. I feel like you've seen this person articulate themselves in a way that showed you how this person loves. And you fell in love with the way this person loves when they are in a relationship. This is different than falling in love with the person. You don't know this person like that yet. You might be friends with this person. It's okay to fall in love with someone for their heart. That is totally fine. That is understandable. That's not what I'm talking about here, though. I'm talking to someone who is thinking that they did that, but need to be careful that it's not a matter of bonding with someone who has had similar trauma and mistaking that for love because you see their potential. That's what I'm talking about here. Now, as it so happens, this person has a great deal of potential. And I feel like you sense that innately because you've seen this person's heart. And it's different for you because normally as a Cancer, you're sensitive to other people's hearts and you discern it without seeing it before you see it until you finally see it. But in this case, you didn't have to do all that. You got to see it up front. And there's something about that upfront directness to the point that you like. It's like you feel this sense of safety because this person is able to show the strength to be vulnerable with you because it happened in private. I looked at the Emperor and I heard private chambers. Because this is an Emperor, this is someone who doesn't like to talk about their emotions. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have emotions. The Emperor is the king of all kings, which means that he has aspects of the King of Cups within him, which means that he is a very emotional guy. He just doesn't display it to the public like that. And there's a reason that he doesn't. He can't. I feel like you're speaking with a very masculine man, not in a toxic masculine way. I feel like you're speaking to someone who can be very stoic, but with you, they're softer with you, and you know it. You might have even seen this person come off as a little harsh to other people, but never with you. And there's something about that that is double-edged sworded about it with you. You don't want to be with someone who's cruel to others. And I don't feel like this is a person who is cruel to others. I think this is a person who comes off as cruel to others because you don't understand the dynamic this person has with that other person. So what may seem cruel to you is preferred by the person he's interacting with. So let it be. He knows what he's doing. Trust it. The phone rang in my background, so that's a sign for me that I just hit something on the nose for some of you. I'm losing my train of thought all of a sudden. Okay, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that for a second. This person does have the ability to provide stability. I feel like this is typically a stable person, but I feel like this person is still in the process of healing, and you see that and you notice it. I feel like... Ooh, okay. I'm starting to get more channeled stuff. It's like, it's downloading, it's buffering. That's the way I'll put it. This Emperor here is pouring his heart out, and here you are with your cup catching it. And your cup is overflowing over because you already have a cup of your own. You have your cup, right? By you offering this, I feel like this person confided in you at the beginning. And that's why this person has this outlook towards you and tries to keep you close. Because you already showed them that you can offer them some peace and understanding without judgment. And I feel like you might be this person's safe space, whether or not this person has said it or not. So this isn't a person who's gonna be as emotionally smothering as you might see yourself being able to be, but he is going to show it in ways that you can tell is not how he is with everyone else, right? This person might say, if this person was looking to hang out with you, for example, but you have to take care of some things and plans weren't made, it's just an expectation that you want to spend time with each other because that's just how the honeymoon period is going with you two. I kind of got honeymoon period from this as well, looking up at the sky together. I also feel like you're from different worlds too. There might be distance between you two. I'm looking at the moon card here. I feel like you might have distance with this person, physical distance. You two are not near each other. You're both on two opposite ends of this road looking up at the same stars, the same moon, the same sky. And it's like you have your own respective places, but there's this mutual longing. That's really sweet, actually. And Moon is our ruling planet. Hmm. I see why you're falling in love with this person. I see it. I don't know if this person's in love with you, though, to be honest with you, Cancer. And if he is, he hasn't said it because he's still dealing with this. And he wants to make sure that he never goes into this again, so I feel like it might be too soon. Hmm. The fact that you were willing to catch all his rain and let it overflow your cup into your already existing ocean just shows how much love you have for this person. And I don't know if he sees it that deeply. This person sees this, right? The dove and the Eucharist going into the golden chalice, you giving him peace. He sees that. And that's why he likes you. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but what he doesn't see yet is that. And I feel like if he saw that, if he knew that, that might move him emotionally. It's just, you can't show it to him like that yet because you will go and drown him. And he'll be like, oh hell no, this is too much. Pull back and panic. Hmm. I like this energy though. I really do. I do like this energy. It's very sweet. It's very romantic. It's very. I feel like there is a sense of reciprocity here. You're being there for him to be his peace, and he wants to be there for you to be your protector. That is very promising. Now we have two more aces. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. This is extremely promising. Now with the Ace of Cups, we're looking at the potential of a brand new loving or emotional connection. The potential for a romantic relationship. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Alright, we're dealing with potential here. With the Ace of Wands, we're looking at the potential for a passionate new beginning. There's a spark of energy with this. With the Ace of Swords, we're dealing with a breakthrough. We're dealing with truth. Here we're dealing with victory. So you are able to get something started with this person. However, I feel like this is a I feel like this is a friendship where one of you wants something more currently than what the other person is wanting right now. One of you wants something more. That doesn't mean that the other person doesn't want anything with you. It's just that you want it more. And the reason for that is because of that Three of Swords. So this could just be a matter of be patient, play your cards right, so to speak. Again, no pun intended. It could also be a matter of address your fears so that you don't create a self-fulfilling prophecy of heartbreak within yourself. Something you have heavy emotions about, Cancer. Cancer, when I look at this, I'm looking at this crustacean at the bottom. Now the crustacean is coming out the water. And this usually means that something is approaching, right? Something is in the works and in the process of happening in real time as you are watching this video right now. Something is in the works for you regarding an emotional connection, possibly a relationship with this person. You might not be aware of it. You can also be on the flip side, because I'm feeling a slight split now between two groups of people, where you're, or this could be the same group and going through this simultaneously. You might be looking up at the night sky thinking that this kind of romantic thing of being able to, I'm looking at it like a date night, staying up late at night. You and your person stay up late at night talking into the wee hours of the night, spending time with each other despite your physical distance from each other. And a part of you wonders if this could ever work, or if things beyond your control will prevent it from happening. So this makes me feel like you are in a fear-based mindset, worried that this relationship will not be within the realms of possible. You might also have abandonment issues or deep-rooted trauma, or the sense of things never work out. I should probably not get my hopes up because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Please, if this is you, break out of that headspace, break out of that heart space, because you're only going to self-sabotage if you allow that to persist. Now, some of you, I need to bring it up because it came up. We were talking about the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is like the epitome of masculinity in the Tarot. This guy has communicated to you already in his own way, shape, or form that he has heavy, heavy sexual energy, whether in general or towards you. Not only that, but I feel like I'm speaking to a group of Cancerians who knows what their person's wiener looks like. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Alright? This person might be quite confident in their experience in male appendage, too. I heard he got a third leg. That's ridiculous. Your person might be quite proud of themselves in that department. They might be aware of how, we'll use the word, blessed they are, and how experienced they are with it. And your person might even be curious about showing you what he can do. Now this is getting a little sexual tarot, but we're all adults here. Hopefully, if you're not an adult, get off this video. This person, you either spoke with this person about it, or this person is internalizing the fact that they want to fill you up, and you know what I mean. Yep, this could be very much an emperor who wants his empress. The Empress is usually a card of pregnancy and fertility. The Ace of Wands is the male variation of that. Yeah, this Emperor wants to give it to you. whether he articulated it or not. Either he's just very pent up, or he wants to give it to you. Now, I have certain indicators as to when I'm dealing with certain sexual orientations, but I'm also speaking with multiple groups of people. But your emperor might be your emperor might be bisexual or bicurious or heteroflexible, whatever terminology. It is what it is. I'm looking at this and I'm hearing the phrase crossing swords, sword fighting. And I mean that in a very adult way. This person might prefer this, and I think we know what this is already, but is open to this as well if it's with the right person. So this might be the sense of be patient and play the long game, so to speak. And it looks like you already got your foot in the door, and I feel like with this you might be thinking, oh, I heard waning, waxing and waning. Waning is when the moon seems to be disappearing, whereas waxing seems to be when the moon is gradually showing itself more fully. Now, I say that because in your mind, you might feel this sense of worry that your connection with your person and the chances of this connection happening is starting to wane. Whether that's true or not is one thing. I don't think it is. We have 3 aces here. I think that's just a fear that you have. The only ace missing is the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is about manifestation. So, why aren't you manifesting? Because either you, your person, or both of you are in an injured heart space. And I feel like it's both of you. I feel like the Three of Swords is your person and the moon is you. So both of you need some emotional healing. And that's why we don't have the Ace of Pentacles here, or we'd have all 4 aces. However, despite missing an element in the aces, we kind of have it indirectly with the Emperor, because the Emperor is the 4th card here, and the 4th card refers to stability, and that's what Pentacles are all about, is growth and stability. And what is the Emperor good at? Making that happen, and providing and protecting. So it's like, what more do you need? You know, this looks very promising. I would give it a go. I would give it a chance, see where things are, see where it's going, but do so without allowing yourself to lose control of your emotions so that your emotions don't control you, or this Emperor might look at you differently. Now, that's not to say hide your emotions from him, because then he'll think you're not interested and move on and be like, okay, this is platonic and now you're friend zoned. I feel like this Emperor is a secret softie, and I feel like you're in with him. I feel like you are in here with him, and you don't know how much, because he's trying to protect himself, but you're in there. He's side-eyeing. I just looked at that. He's side-eyeing. Yeah, yeah, he's side-eyeing you. Look at that. I don't mean side-eye in a negative way. I mean side-eyeing because he realized what it is. This Emperor knows that you have feelings for him. I don't think you admitted it to him. This Emperor knows you have feelings for him. He just hasn't acted upon it in a direct sense yet. He knows that he wants you in his life. That's as far as he knows. The rest is still kind of something that he's toying with in his mind and in his heart, trying to reconcile the two with each other. This might be a person who usually typically identifies as straight because it's easier to. I feel like this is a traditional person to a degree. Like, he has his ways about him, and if he does have feelings for you, it might conflict with him, and so he's like, doesn't know what to do. So this is where you come in if you're trying to be his empress and you show those qualities of an empress, that grace and that patience. Offer to be his peace and back it up. You already have, right? Let him be there to protect you. Don't be a useless damsel in distress. Be your authentic self first and foremost, because that will draw him, and he'll appreciate you more, and he'll like you more. If this person does not accept you as a romantic partner, I feel like he will accept you as a very close friend whom he has very strong closeness towards. And I feel like it's going to present itself. Anyway, I hope that helps. If the messages resonated with you today, please feel free to click follow and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. If nothing resonated today, please stay tuned to future posts. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by. As always, be good, be happy, and be safe. Take care, Cancers.